Hello guys, welcome back to the Beastie Room. If you can see me, behind all this stuff here, we've got a rather big project going on at the moment. And a couple of things that we're rolling into one. We are going to rehouse our female stirmi that we saw in the breeding video. And that is because we've been waiting on these lovely new custom built tanks to come in. So now they're here, we can set it up and we can get her moved over, and hopefully this will also spur her into actually dropping a sack as well. That, fingers crossed, that's the plan. So we've already caught her up. She is in this box here. We will have a closer look at her. I mean, she is huge. Look at that. Massive big girl. And she's looking really full as well, so I'm hoping she's full of eggs. So we're going to put her down here out of the way. And we're going to move a bit of this stuff because we've got some real nice stuff to go in this tank. And I'm going to show you and tell you a little bit about this enclosure. Now, this is a tank made by Dale at DMS VIVARIA. And this is a custom built job, and this is down to my own specifications. So this isn't a run-of-the-mill enclosure. And as you can see there, the idea was that we wanted some really clean lines, nice clean finish, sliding glass front, so we have doors, and I wanted a completely mesh roof. As you guys will know, on all of my enclosures I keep an entirely mesh roof. I have no problems with this. I find it absolutely perfect, and it serves to give me total control over the environment within the enclosure, which is something that's really important with your spiders. Now, the only thing that we've done here is, with this particular mesh on here, this is a food grade stainless steel mesh, and this is so fine that fruit flies can't get out of it. This is the stuff that the guys in the dart frog world are using, and this, so if we get fungus gnats and things inside our enclosure, they are not getting out of this enclosure. So it's absolutely perfect. Now, we've done a couple of other things here. Size wise, we're looking at, this is 60 centimeters long, 15 centimeters in depth, and it's about, I think it's 38 centimeters high. So it's a nice size. Now, one of the things that we've got here, like I say, we've got sliding glass fronts, which we have here. Now, I can take these out. They come out just like so. We'll move them down here. And then we've got a removable top. And this is because I wanted total access. So there you go. The roof comes off. This is our fly grade roof. Gives us all the ventilation we need. And we are then left with a completely open enclosure. How about that? That is really, really smart. So what we've also got, because we've got the sliding front glass, we've got this piece of glass in the bottom here, and this is our substrate barrier. So we can't go no higher than this, but this is 3 odd inches deep. So it's plenty deep enough at the front, and we can always mound it up at the back. Now, I've had 5 of these made like this, and I am really, really pleased. Dale has done an absolutely amazing job. These have taken a little while for us to actually get them into the stage where we are now. So there's been a little bit of backwards and forwards, you know, throwing of ideas and things like that. And Dale was really, really, he's really clever in the way he actually thinks and designs things, and he goes along with the designs that we wanted as well. So everything is fitted into place, and I'm really, really pleased. So what we're going to do, we're going to set this one up as a bioactive, because this is going to be for our female stirmi. So we're going to need a few cups, I believe. Right, 2 seconds. We'll go with the easy option. That's going to be enough. That's perfect. Now, remember what we were saying about the clay balls? This is just to separate our soil from the bottom, so that any moisture that sits down in here, and the clay balls absorb the moisture. So that's what we're after. We're not looking at having a reservoir of water under there. We just want the clay balls to be able to soak it up and keep it. So there we go, we're in there. What we're going to do now, it doesn't matter how much room you've got, you've never got enough, have you? What we're going to do now is we're going to fill this up with some potting compost. Just a little trial and error now, see where we go. This is just regular cheap old potting compost, nothing special. Same as what we use in everything. Put that in there like so. Alright, now we're going to add some, we're going to put a little bit more of this in actually. What we want to do is build the back up a little bit. And then we're going to add some of our Beastie mix. Just going to throw that in there like that. See how it all starts to take shape now. Mix that in. There we go, look at this. Now you can see now what the benefit of this front piece of glass now. Keeps our glass sliding nice and easily, nice and smooth. We can see exactly where we are. And as long as we keep it below this lid, any moisture or water inside here will not come out. This is completely sealed. We've got an absolutely wonderful piece of wood here, which I've been hanging on to for a long time, and it's just been waiting for this very day. What I want to do, I want to plant that in there like so, and we're going to fill the back up with some substrate. We're going to put a plant in there. In there. See, even that little lazy Susan, she's big enough to deal with this type of enclosure. Grand job. Now we've got some really nice ivy here. Now one of the things with a stirmi, I found that they don't necessarily web up quite as much as other spiders do. Oh, we're just coming off here. Stay put. They don't web up just as much. So an awful lot of the time the plants and things that you put in there actually survive really well. So we can leave that in there like so. This is just making it all look a little bit more naturalistic. I'm hoping we can squeeze one down in here as well. Get one in here. I think that will go in there, won't it? A little bit of help. You can take a bit of this, mix it all in. Now what I want to do is put a hide down in here as well, in this corner. We're going to actually, where's my brush? Let me brush. I want to clean this wood off because half the point of having this lovely piece of bark in here is we get to see it. So we just want to keep that nice. Now then, I've got another plant here. This is an outdoor fern. We did put one of these in our Muscala tank and she promptly buried it almost immediately, so it didn't really do very well. And unfortunately, a lot of these plants don't suffer the real heavy webbing spiders particularly good. So what I'll do, I'm going to put this one down here. I'll put that like that. That's it. Now she will have a clamber about, and she'll come along and move around, do her thing. But I'm hoping that once she's finished exploring the enclosure, she'll settle down, she'll relax, and these plants will get a really good chance to get going. Right, so we've got a nice piece of wood here. We don't need a great deal as a hide, because one of the things she will do is she will burrow down into this. So we're going to, hopefully, she can go right down in here. And because of our substrate bottom, we can afford to, she will get enough moisture through that. Now what they've done in previous enclosures is they've actually dug down and gone around. So we'll see what she does. Hopefully that'll be okay. I think that's starting to look quite smart, isn't it? That's looking good. Now don't forget, if whenever you're designing an enclosure like this, and for whatever reasons it doesn't work out, the spider doesn't settle or whatever, it's no hardship to rip it out and start again. And we've got some lovely moss here. This is really, really nice stuff. So what we're going to do is we are going to place some of this up in the back, because where we cover with moss, there's less chance of her wanting to dig it up. So we're going to put some of this up here just to fill that in. We've got a bit there. You can use the scraggly bits like this. This bit doesn't look particularly great, but if it's put in the back areas where it's not necessarily going to be seen, it will do the same job, but we don't have to look at it. There we go. Look at that. That's starting to get really naturalistic now. You can see now how that piece of wood is starting to blend in. We've got a water bowl here. And should we put the water bowl? That's not going to fit there. Right. Okay. I think what we'll do is we will try and put our water bowl up here. It can sometimes be temperamental putting a water bowl in a corner, because that is 9 times out of 10 where your spider wants to go and have a dig. So we've got some other moss here. We could really do with putting some moss around that bowl. There we go. Don't need to go too mad. I think what we'll do is we'll put a piece in the corner here as well. All this moss will help lock in all the moisture and also make it look really nice. There we go. I think we'll leave the centre as it is with just some soil, and I think that is starting to look really quite smart. I'll get some of this stuff cleared away. Now you see that didn't take very long at all. We can have a nice look at it there. Get to see a really good view. And I think that will actually do. I think that's looking really, really nice. Now, as you can see, as we were saying earlier on, we've got this nice barrier here. Gives us that perfect, holds everything in, so our sliding glass all comes in here. Now we can just brush that out where I've made a bit of a mess. Just clear that out. And there you go, there you have it. So what we're going to do, we're going to put our top back in. That literally just slides in there like so. You see it's quite flexible, and we've done it like this to actually make it lightweight. We wanted it to be lightweight. and that literally slots in there. So that's nice and tight now. As you can see, it gives it a form of rigidity. Rigidity? That's a difficult word. I'm really pleased with that. That's looking really, really nice. Now then, should we attempt to put our girl in without the glass? She has been quite well behaved. What do you think? Right, I think what we're going to do first is we're going to quickly water our plants in, and water our moss. So we can do that. Plenty of water in there. Remember, it's important to give your plants a good healthy watering when they first go in. They will appreciate it. Plenty in there. Fill our bowl up. Now you remember with the stirmis, the blondies and the apotheosis, they all require a really good humidity. So we're looking up in the 80% humidity, and that will keep these guys nice and happy. Now this is the one that you would have seen in the video where we done the pairing of her, and I say she has literally just been waiting for this enclosure. Right, I'm going to do that. Now once our spider is in there, you'll know from the past that I'm not a lover of spraying enclosures with our spiders in. So what you can do, or what I do, is I can spot spray where I want rather than spraying the whole thing. And in this way, we don't upset our spider. Now then, remember these guys are notoriously bad for hair kicking. And as you can see there, she is one beautiful spider. And you can see from her abdomen, she's very, very full. So we're hoping now that she will actually be full of eggs. If I turn around, you might just get one of her face. She is a monster. An absolute monster. So these have type 3 urticating hairs, which are pretty much the strongest. So we don't really want her kicking her hairs. Now if you're not used to dealing with these particular spiders, it pays to cover your arms, your hands and your face, because these hairs will kick up and they're so fine they literally float around in the air. They're like dust particles and you think you get away with it, and then a bit later on in the evening you're sitting there watching telly and you're like this and scratching like a mad thing, and they can be real bad. They can be very troublesome if you get them in your eyes. So we have to be very, very careful. So what we're going to do now, we've unhooked the base of this this box. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it on the front here, because I would like her to walk in so we get some nice pleasant look at her. We've got to hope that she doesn't butt. Oh, you see that little tiny flick of the hairs? Flick of the back leg. There she goes. We're just going to let her walk nice and gently. Now, you can just about make out there's hairs floating around in the atmosphere here. They're just coming down. Here she goes. Get some lovely close-ups now. She is an absolutely stunning spider. Now these can and will move remarkably fast for their size. They're capable of literally taking off at a rate of knots. You get a nice face on there. Watch your hand. There we go. If we can get a little bit of extra light maybe. Try a little bit of extra light. See that beautiful colouring. She's a very, very pretty spider. And as you can see, she's relatively calm as well. We're not getting too much in the way of naughty behaviour. And again, this is where we've been very, very calm, careful with what we're doing. We're not making any sudden movements. Now, one of the things these spiders are quite prone to is shadows. So if you cast a shadow over her when you're moving around, sometimes they will see this as a threat and they will disappear. Let me zoom in and get a lovely one of her eyes there. A gorgeous spider. Now you can see the actual markings on like the knees, which are these pale, almost like shiny parts on their knees. And you can see the difference now with the stirmi as well. If you look at the stirmi here, you see the bottom part of the legs are very, very hairy. On the blondie, this hairiness goes all the way right to the central joint, right to the top of the leg. So you can see the difference there. This is how we tell a stirmi from a blondie. So if you get offered one in the future and it's an adult, if it's got hairy legs all the way over, then it's a blondie. And if it's only hairy halfway up, it will be a stirmi. And if you see an apophysis, that's like a woolly bear. Absolutely hairy all over. So there you go, there she is. Now you can see the roundness and you can see the hump in the abdomen there. You see she's got a huge great hump to that abdomen. Now this is a good possibility that this is full of eggs. We're rather hoping so. And you can see that she's been a fairly calm girl. You see all the hairs on the back of the abdomen here. This is where she has not been stressed too much. She's been very, very good. You don't get too close there. Lovely job. Now, as you can see there, we got this is a perfect size. It's 60 centimeters by 15 inches deep, and it's about 38 centimeters high. So it's it really is a nice size for this size spider. And she's just going to sit there and just chill out by the look of things. Now, food-wise, because this girl has actually been she's been paired, so we're just waiting on her dropping an egg sac now. This is the most important part, and we're hoping that by having this rehouse, this will just spur her on to actually drop in a sac, and then the long wait begins. Now, food-wise, we're only looking at giving her very small food items now, just to tick her over, because if we give her a large thing, which is it's very common for people to feed large spiders large prey items, and it's not necessary. You know, if you keep the food items small at this stage, there's less chance of her going into a molt, which is the very last thing we want to do. We really don't want her to molt, because if she does molt now, the pairing that we would have done will be completely wasted, because what happens is, as she sheds her old skin, she will shed the sperm with it, and that means she is infertile afterwards, so she needs to be paired again. So it's very, very important that we try and avoid a molt. Right, I think what we do is we're going to leave her there. We'll let her have a chill out. Hasn't she been lovely? She's very, very relaxed. This is a cool thing. This is what we're after. A nice relaxed spider. Right. Well, I think she's got a lovely new home there. I hope you enjoyed it. And thank you for Dale. Dale at DMS VIVARIA. He makes some stunning enclosures. And we're in the process at the moment where we're going to make up a very similar design like this, but for some of our arboreal spiders. So hopefully over the next year you'll see some changes to the Beastie Room, because I'm really taken with these and we've got some good ideas for some nice new enclosures. So we might have a bit of a refit and see where we go. So keep tuned for that, and hopefully with Dale working closely with us, we can come up with a perfect enclosure. And we're also looking at doing some centipede ones as well. So these will be to our own design, our own Beastie design. And yeah, we'll see where we go with them. But I like this. This is a really cool design. Gives us complete access to do everything we need to do. So much easier than trying to struggle trying to put branches and things inside an enclosure. We take the top off, we take the front out. Perfect. We've got a lovely clean palette to start working with. Right, well, I hope you enjoyed that. And don't forget, be calm, be gentle, and love your spider. I'll see you soon, guys.